Christmas time is caroling right around the corner, and I thought the perfect way to start it off would be to show you how to make DIY holiday treats for your gerbils or rabbits. So for this recipe, you'll need pulverized hay, a banana, rosemary, peppermint, and I also used Oxbow's healthy digestive support treats. You'll also need 1/4 cup of carrots and 1/4 cup of pellets. You can leave this out and just use more hay. And I pulverized them as well. If you are using pellets, you need to pulverize them too. And I also used 1/4 cup of oats, and these are just plain oats, and blend them into a powder as well. Now keep in mind, if you're doing this for rabbits, they should not be for elderly rabbits. Any rabbit that is older than, I would say, 4 or 5 years old, I would not recommend this treat. And even with my rabbits who are only 1 year old, I will only be giving this kind of a treat once a year. It's a one-time treat, so it makes it a very special treat for Christmas time. Rabbits usually should not be eating cereals of any kind. Oat hay is fine and can be used instead of the oats itself. For this one time though, I just decided to do it with oats just to test out how well it would bake, but the pulverized hay would do just as well. Now for the digestive support treats, I grinded them with a cheese grinder, and I just did this to make it a powder that I could add into the ones with the pellets. Now, I don't feed pellets to my rabbits anymore. They get salads twice a day, but since it's a treat, it's fine, and it's a once-in-a-year treat again. So I wanted to make it really delightful for them, so just keep in mind, this is an extreme treat. Now, the digestive support treats are optional, but I just grinded 1 into powder for each treat and left it at that. Then you're going to mix all your ingredients together, all the powder that you have blended, and mix them together and put them aside in one bowl. We will come back to adding stuff to this powder later, but for now we're going to focus on the wet ingredients. And so you're going to start off by grinding carrots to make 1/4 cup of them. And of course, you can always change this recipe how you want it to be. You don't have to use carrots. You could use any fruit that is safe for gerbils or rabbits. I just use carrots because they tend to love carrots, and especially for gerbils, it's not so much as sugary for them as it would be for rabbits. Now you're gonna go back to the powders and put the carrots with them, and you're just gonna put it over. We'll do mixing later when we add the banana. And I used a whole banana for this recipe because I found it to be too much powder that I had, and so you'll want to use a whole banana. And you can always break these up into multiple treats and give them over time. You definitely do not want to give them to your rabbits or your gerbils all in one day. You want them to eat little cubes at a time, and since this is a once-a-year treat for my rabbit, now I specifically chose this amount to match the size of the overly large cookie cutters that I have. So it will probably be more than enough for you, and you can always make smaller amounts, but even if you don't, you can cut this into multiple pieces and feed over time. You definitely do not want to feed this all in one sitting, or even half of it. It is too much, so keep that in mind, and make sure that you are giving them this treat maybe twice a week at most if you're feeding them to your rabbits. With gerbils, again, treats are once a week, and you can keep to that. You can give them a small cube of this once a week. But you're just going to mash and blend this all together. You want the powder to soak up all of the wet ingredients, and you want it to be well mixed so that when you put it in the oven, it bakes evenly and nicely, and you won't have pieces falling apart or powders loose. so you definitely want it to be pretty thick. In the end, you're gonna put them into your holiday cookie cutters. Now, use whatever cookie cutters you have or want to use. I use these, again, overly large cookie cutters that were just so large, but I ended up dehydrating them after putting them in the oven and breaking them into small pieces to use as treats later. So you can definitely store these, just make sure that you dehydrate them very well. I used a dehydrator after the oven. You can also dehydrate with the oven, but it may need more time, and you definitely don't want to burn them. So I recommend a dehydrator if you have one, but this will just allow you to store it while making sure there's no moisture, and it should last you a couple of months. Now for details, I added peppermint and rosemary. They make great treats for gerbils and rabbits because of their properties. They have medicinal properties, and so I didn't put that much either. But once you're done decorating, and I added a small little candy cane for the gerbils this time, so you can see you really need a small piece for them, and even smaller than that. I did not feed them the whole thing. But as you can see, these cookies are very large. You're not going to feed them again the whole thing. But now the cookies are ready to be baked, and you're gonna want to set the oven at 190 degrees Celsius. Now you may want to preheat your oven and bake them for 30 minutes. After it's done baking, without removing it from the oven, you do want to let it cool for 2 hours. And in the end, we'll be blessed with these amazing and beautiful treats. The pets will go crazy for them, and I absolutely loved making this. I definitely want to make more in the future without these cereals, which will be better for the rabbits in the end, and a little bit more healthy and less sugary. But this is an amazing Christmas treat. Christmas is meant to spoil your pets. So, and you can see my pets thoroughly enjoyed the treats, and I'm sure yours will as well. In fact, they did not want to let the treat go. And I will just let you guys enjoy this montage of my pets eating these beautiful Christmas treats. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do try this recipe out, or even your own spin on it, make sure to send me a photo on my Twitter or Instagram at Fins and Whiskers. You can add it to your Instagram story or a tweet, and I will retweet or share it on my story. I am so excited to see you guys try this. And if you'd like to find more ways to spoil your pets, make sure you subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys next time.